Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
All right, welcome back to In the Side of the Storm, where we talk all things Cyclones. We are live from the AKC Marketing Studio with Andrew Downs and sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company out of Osceola, Iowa, and Dan Douglas with Green Beret Realty. I'm Dave Larson here with my Storm Team partners and Cyclone greats, Mr. Vintage, Brent Gervais is back, and the legend, Marcus Pfizer. Gentlemen, how are we?
We're doing good. Brent ain't been nowhere. Brent just handling business.
That's it, man. Poptarts bowl, baby.
We'll go Poptarts.
Poptarts
That's right,
bowl, man.
So, Brent, you were gone last week. We teased a little bit that maybe you were off to memorize the Rock Chalk Jayhawk song. So, lay it on us. You got it down?
That's probably one thing I'll never remember. I will gladly support I'll boast the KU dad sticker, all of that. But ain't no chance coming out of this fella. I might say a little look when I'm down there at the games rooting for him or something, it'll be some Rock Chalk, but that's about as far as it goes.
I used to always mentally turn that K into an F in that song. That used to I promise you. So that used to be my motivation. Turn that K to it in that song.
That's it.
Turn it back on them.
No,
I've
but
been trying to keep him locked in. I was like, man, don't look. You signed that, so then you can do. Don't start having them second thoughts. Since my school went to the Big 12 championship. I was at the high school.
Well, and we'll talk a little bit about that game. But seriously, though, Brent, congratulations. As a dad, to be able to get your son ready, prepared for an opportunity like that. It must just melts your heart. And I congratulate you and your family for Malachi signing with Kansas.
Appreciate it, man. It's just, seeing that paper and all I saw was how much you owe. And it said 0. I was excited. I was like, woo. Yeah, I'll sign these any day of the week.
That's all I tell my kids. My goal is to get your education paid for. Whatever happens after that is up to you. But the least I can do is to help you get your education paid for.
That's it, man. That is
well,
it.
At the end of the day, a very small number of athletes are able to get a scholarship to a university. So it's a Division I university.
Yeah.
We think that, they're going around and anyone can get it. It's just not that easy, and it really takes a special skill set, a dedication, hard work, and some genes. That certainly helps, and Malachi has that. So again, congrats.
Yeah, especially in football, like a sport like that, you got to be for sure top notch and toughness and everything like that. Like you can. I know there's more football players, but still a lot don't play. But in basketball, it's a smaller number of players, and if you don't have those type skills, you would definitely be sitting over there not playing. So, absolutely, congrats.
Appreciate you.
So you talked a little bit about the fact that your school ended up going to the Big 12 championship for the second time in 5 years. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite the outcome that we were looking for. Cam Scadaboo, wow, that guy's a stud. Ended up losing to Arizona State 45-19 in a game that really wasn't that close after halftime. He just ran all over through that defense, and we knew going in, if Arizona State's going to win it, it's really going to be probably running the ball. And sure enough, they did. They had that long pass on fourth down in the first half that became a problem. But really, it was all about Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah. The more missed tackles, I think, than anything, man. We couldn't. We couldn't tackle a soul. Don't get me wrong, dude ran crazy hard, but I mean, damn, wasn't nobody wrapping up. And that's, I vividly remember a game where we started the second half on the sideline doing tackling drills because we weren't tackling the first half of the game. Can't remember who we played against, but Danny was like, yeah, damn all that game speech, I'll get y'all ass on the sideline. And we lined up, and it was full tilt tackling drills on the sideline right before our game, right before the second half of the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this at Jack Trice, or was it an away game?
It was.
So you guys are on the sidelines going through tackling drills. Wow.
Yep. Line them up. I mean,
there's part of focusedness and part of embarrassment too, because at this stage, you should be. I mean, we've lined up and done suicides on the court during the game. Like that's one of those. Okay, coach, we get it type shit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You're like, I don't give a shit about your feelings. Y'all gonna do this right in front of your fans.
Y'all embarrassing
tackle
me.
Anybody out there? Yeah.
Y'all embarrassing
me. I'm about to get y'all ass back. But yeah,
man,
didn't show up. But you know what?
I hadn't seen nobody run like that since Ricky Williams, and I saw that with my own two eyes at the Trice. Like, there's no way in hell this guy's running this football like this from the scrimmage. It was just here. But
whatever
that was wow. I mean, I've heard of the kid Scadaboo. I've seen a couple. I had no idea he was like that. Like he really made himself some money, definitely off that game, because it's like if you need that short yardage for that first down or 4 or 5, man, he's definitely your guy. He's definitely your guy.
Yeah, man.
Did you see during the game broadcast, they showed a before and after where apparently Coach Kenny Dillingham had approached him at some point. I don't know if it was in between before summer workouts or if it was even at the beginning of last season. And it said, hey, you've got the potential, but you're going to have to put in some work. And they showed a before and after picture that reminded me a little bit where he just physically transformed in a matter of months, and you saw the before and the after, and it was a dramatic change. I mean, he goes from this sort of pudgy body to just absolutely ripped.
Yeah.
So he put in the work. I mean, he earned it.
He definitely earned it. I mean, he's one of the. You don't want to go to as far as saying like Derrick Henry, but it's that type of power. It ain't crazy finesse. It's a little foot speed there. Derrick got a lot of foot speed with the power. But he's coming on one of these sides, and it's like flip. I was like, damn, man, we cannot wrap this kid up for nothing. And it was like a man amongst boys, man. It was like, is this dude like a 4 or 5 holdback? Like, is he 27 already or something? He should be already in the league.
Brent, you played in that interior line. Now, a little bit of a different defense scheme, but what do you do when you got a guy like that coming up and you're trying to tackle? What is that like?
I mean, I don't know. For me, the mentality is I ain't give a shit who you were. Like you If it was me and you, it wasn't gonna be me. I can promise you that. So if I had a hold of you, we're gonna figure it out. But I mean, that's one of those things, man. It's all mental, you know, as far as I'm concerned. When it comes to tackling somebody, it's like, how do I want to portray myself in this moment? And in football, it's all a matter of winning your one-on-one battle, and you get a chance to make a play and get somebody down. You better make it, or you slow his ass down so your team hold on long enough, your team rally up, and we get them down. But it's all a mentality, man. It's all I'm better than you mentality, and I'm not gonna lose. I mean, if for whatever reason he does shake out of one, I guarantee it won't happen again. It just got to be the kind of the mindset, man. But for whatever reason, nobody adapted it. It was just like, oh shit, you're running hard. Oh shit, I don't know if I want to come in here. None of that. But everybody came and got some work, because I think one of them plays, it was like 6 or 7 dudes he had bounced off of and was picking up. I'm like, this is the matter of want to, man. Like that's when the guy just running through guys and nobody's wrapping up and they're trying to do headshots. It's like, come on, what are we doing?
Well, and it's certainly something I think that we expected. It was just disappointing to see from a fan's perspective. I mean, he just ran all through that defense. I think he had 140 yards in the first half alone, and it was embarrassing. And it's too bad because I felt like we had the opportunity offensively. We seemed to get in a flow those first 2 drives, and then after that second half with those turnovers, we just fell apart. Offense, defense. We even had a special teams miss on a field goal. It went downhill fast.
Yeah, it gets to become, to that unfortunate situation where once it gets like that, you're not going to get it back. Then they can control the games. Like in basketball, you slow the clock down. They're just going to keep handing the ball off to Scatterboo and it doesn't matter if it's a 17, 20, 25 play drive. We're just going to melt the clock and hand it off to him, and he's going to end up in the end zone. So once you know that has come about, you just basically waiting for the zeros to hit the clock.
Yeah. They can do no wrong, man.
No.
And their quarterback played pretty well. I think he's a freshman, and Dillingham after the game had said, "Hey, I think that the folks that are selecting for the college football playoff need to understand that he didn't play in one of our losses. So they need to look at us as an 11-1 team, not 11-2 team." And it looks like the committee actually did that. They seeded Arizona State as the 4th seed, so they get the first round bye.
Didn't the champions automatically get that top 4 seed though?
Not necessarily, because I think that there was some talk about, but at the time, who was in the ACC that they were looking at, maybe SMU. I think SMU was spotted until they lost to Clemson. And then when they lost, it was, what's going to happen now? And there were talk about Alabama maybe getting in. And I think the committee got it right overall. I think having the SEC, I've been saying it all year. I don't think that they're as strong as they think that they are.
They try their best to get it wrong. they try to get it wrong. They really try to pacify the situation and throwing Alabama up there. But in the end, some things happened to it. It was like, okay, we take a little backlash about it, whatever, but we got to get this right. And at the end of the day, the teams that are in there may not be better than Alabama, but if they've played, and you got to reward them for the season that they've had and giving them a chance. It's just that simple.
Well,
I'm not looking for a TCU situation, but damn.
Then the Alabama athletic director is coming out going, well, maybe we need to reconsider what our out of conference scheduling looks like. Well, all of Alabama's losses were in the SEC. It had nothing to do with if anything, they need to schedule tougher games so they can bolster that strength of schedule. I wish that they would take a closer look at strength of schedule overall. Because I don't know that the ACC was all that either, but that's just my personal opinion.
Keep putting in McNeese State in middle of nowhere states in the middle of the year.
Yeah. In the middle of the year, you like we watching the game. It was like, man, you ain't heard nothing about Alabama. Who the hell is McNeese Southwest Central? Like, okay, no,
right.
We ain't heard about them today.
Yeah,
it's 56-3 in the first half.
And they only play 8 conference games too, where the Big 12 we play 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dynamic of the NIL and everything is really changing things. You know, for years it had to be like a 10 to 15 year run plus where, you know, if you were top of a 5-star or 4.5-star, whatever, I mean, how much did Nick Saban have to recruit? And you at once the NIL start coming in, you start to see it start getting a little shaky for him. And now he started talking about retiring. Now he's out of there. And now, you know, Alabama is not being the dominant powerhouse as everyone typically looked at before, which is good. Yep. You know, to have the competition all the way around is definitely good. So it's just the nature of what we're in now.
Yeah.
So as we said, we get to go to the Poptarts Bowl, which is on December 28th. It's Saturday at 2:30 on ABC. Yeah, he said he's playing, right?
He's playing.
So we get to play against the final or a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Maybe even will win. I don't think he will, but there's always that chance.
Nah, he ain't gonna win.
Nah, he gave it up weeks ago.
Yeah,
he gave it up weeks ago.
It's prestigious for him to be able to attend, nonetheless. So we get to face off against him, and I found it interesting that the Miami defense in 8, they only play 8 conference games in the ACC as well. They lost 2 of their last 3 at Georgia Tech, who I actually saw play. I saw Georgia Tech play in person, and then Syracuse they lost to in the 2 of their last 3 here. I'm stumbling a little bit. Apologize, guys. But then their defense gave up at least 30 points in 5 of those 8 conference games. 30 points in 5 of the 8 conference games. So I think that this could really be a high flying shootout game as we face off against them in Orlando. And Cam Ward himself threw for over 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So you know that they're going to sling the ball. I don't know about how much they're going to run the ball, but if I'm them, I'm probably focusing on running after watching Arizona State and Cam Skadaboo go up against our defense. But hopefully by that time, we'll have some of those linebackers back. There's some rumors that perhaps Caleb Bacon may be back for that game. Not that he's going to be Dick Butkus in the middle there, but I think it'd be helpful and maybe give that defense a shot in the arm.
I don't know. Missing a full year and coming back for one game, yes, having him out there mentally will probably do the guy some good, but talking about a guy who hasn't touched the field in a season, that's going to be tough to come back.
Do they redshirt?
I don't know.
I'd have to go back and look and see how many games he's played if he would be eligible for a medical redshirt or not.
I mean, that's pretty early though in the season, wasn't it? Like maybe week 1, 2, week 2.
I thought he played in Iowa. I'd have to go back and look.
That's game 3, right? So I think red shirts is.
I think 4.
But
is it 4 to red shirt?
I think it. So I think you're allowed 3 games. Because that's what I was kind of talking to my son about. Like, hey, you get a chance. Like, one, don't push yourself to play. Like, it's
right.
Rushing out to play is not it. Like, you need to develop physically and then mentally catch up to the game. I said it'd be really great to get some playing time in these games so you can see the difference in game speed. Because the change from high school to college. It's a big difference. That jump is a little quick. Guys move out faster. So, yeah, man. I don't know if having Bacon back would be great. I know passing plays into our strengths, though. So,
Yeah, and another thing for Malachi, like you got with this whole COVID year and all that different stuff, you have older players in college now longer than you did before. You know, it's like I was 21 years old when I got drafted, you know, and I had spent 3 years in college. You know, now you got guys that's, 24 years old and he's a sophomore. It's like, what the hell?
Right.
They playing against a lot of grown men, and on the surface, you don't get that and you don't understand that. And especially in football, you playing against a 24, 25-year-old in football, you a 17, 18-year-old freshman. I don't care how much a phenom you are, you're going to lose that battle.
You talk about that, and I saw something on social media that Trevor Lawrence and Utah quarterback Cam Rising came in the same high school draft class. Cam Rising is going to come back, I think, for an 8th season at Utah next year. Meanwhile, Trevor Lawrence next year will be his 5th or 6th season in the NFL. Just remarkable.
He's getting paid, but that's what NIL has done, though, to these guys. It's allowed so much room to make so much money because you got to think about it. If Rising is making, I mean, I don't know, at least $2 million right now in college.
In college,
he's not going to make that. He's not going to make that when he goes to the NFL. If he goes to the NFL, and that's the biggest thing. That's why these guys are like, man, let me come back for another year because I know at least I can stack this bread another year or so. But that's 8 years, and he's not a doctor.
Being a year older in a college, in the college program that you've had success in, you're going to be able to dominate that domain and strengthen that college program that year. It's definitely a win-win situation for you. I could imagine the years of college, man. Jeez.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. You've been in school for 8 years and you're not a doctor? Bro, what are you doing? What are we doing? What, you got like 6 degrees?
Man. And $2 million in the bank.
Right. That's every year.
Oh my goodness.
So big picture, fellas, as we look back, 10-3 finish. Thoughts on the season, just in general, overall? Successful season, disappointing season, good season, great season. What are your thoughts?
Well, for me, the only disappointing part, I would say our 3 losses were disappointing. Not to the fact that we lost 3, just they were disappointing losses. I think,
the way that we lost.
Just the overall. The last one definitely was. I mean, I was embarrassed. As you know, I was talking mad shit on Twitter too before the game. And
not you,
man. Oh my gosh! But for me, that's a again, not that we did lose 3. Definitely a successful season. Hats off to the guys, Coach Campbell and the rest of the staff and all that. 10-3 is phenomenal, but just the way that we lost those games is. Because if you think about it, that Texas Tech and that Kansas game, had we played that better, I mean, we could have been undefeated at that point. But that's the way the football bounces, I guess. And we go into the Pop-Tart Bowl.
That's it. I mean, it's still, all in all, man, it's still a success, right? First time we hitting 10 wins and kind of making a name for ourselves. We had the losses were bad, obviously. But to think about how much we had to overcome to get those wins, I'm all here for it. Because if we gotta complain about getting our asses kicked in the Big 12 championship, I'm cool with that. Like we complaining about our performance in a championship game, which was one, not even a bowl game. You know what I'm saying? It was an extension of our season because of how well we did. And 2, it was a chance to, finally get in the game. And this is the second time in 5 years. I mean, we haven't done it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're finally starting to, press forward and start to move up. And people are starting to like, wait a minute. Like Iowa State isn't that old school, like football is they're a basketball school. It's still the same. But now it's like, well, you putting guys in the league that are very productive, and you get to win in 10 games. Now people start to take a little bit more notice. So I think it just helps our trajectory too. But in my book, that's a success, man.
That's what Cam Roy told Shador. He said, we the double-digit boys. Y'all only got 9. He said, you only have 9 games. And he's like,
yeah.
He said, well, I'm finna be 10. He said, well, I'm already 10. So you only got 9 weeks.
That's it.
That's big, sure.
Brent, that's such great perspective because I don't know that many teams that could have overcome all of the injuries on the defensive side, particularly at linebacker, and still won 10 games.
Yeah, the defense
and made it to the championship game.
Yeah,
we would have killed. Think of all your teams. You guys would have given your left nut to play in the championship game. And here we had all these losses and injuries, and we still made it and won 10 games.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, man, it's, think about it, like in years past, it's always been the defense carrying our teams in years past. And this year, our defense, I won't put them completely under the bus, but our offense was, lights out a whole lot of the times, and it kept us in a lot of games. Defense stops too, but our offense has changed drastically. And that's what kept us, winning, finding ways to move the ball. And, Rocco's been playing great and out of his mind. And, our offense, you feel like the, scales were tipping on the other side, and we relied on the offensive side of the ball, and we were scoring points and staying in ball games because of it, because we had the ability to make big plays now, big splash plays down the field and score. So, hats off to him, man. I think the way Miami plays, it plays right into our hand a little bit because their run game isn't all that serious, and Cam is a big time passer. Now, if we can corral him and keep him in the pocket, I just think we, get a chance to walk out of there as champions from that bowl game.
What kind of letter grade do you give offensive coordinator Taylor Mauser in his first season as OC?
Oh, man, letter grade. I guess I'm always about improvement. So I give him a B+ because obviously there's some areas, right? I think B+ is great. Yeah, it's B first year. Even if you play in the game, you can have B+ A-. You got a chance to win any game, on college football 25. You give yourself a chance. But he gave him a chance, honestly. It was early on, still trying to get his feet wet and figure out, who were his guys, and he really started cooking. It was like second half of game, you saw a totally different guy, and hats off to him though. I'm excited for the years to come, just because you saw the progression throughout this year of how much better he got,
and the creativity that he really brought to the offense as well is one thing that I was impressed with.
Yep, absolutely.
Brent, what kind of grade do you give Coach Mouse?
Well, I really don't know how to grade football.
Oh, come on.
I don't. You got to understand, I watch it as a fan. Like, damn, that was a good play. Oh, yeah, that was exciting to see. I can't, break that apart more than me. But take this amount.
Okay, hi.
Go.
Hi.
Goodbye. I can't really break. I'm looking at it as a fan. You know me. I'm like, we won 10 games and we're A++.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So bowl prep begins this week. I imagine it is worth noting it's dead week this week. Finals week is next week. Brent, what is that like when you've got this period of time between your last game, in this case, the Big 12 championship game, and your bowl game?
Well, yeah, we didn't play in the Big 12 championship game. We were called Big 12 champ. We didn't play in the game, but it's like 2 weeks of downtime, nothing but practice, and obviously making sure when I played, we had pretty much the week at school, but we practiced there the week before the game. So we traveled, you know what I mean? But I think talking to the players now, they leave on Christmas Day, so they'll only be down in Orlando for like 3 days to practice before the game. So it's a little different now, and I don't know if that's always the case, but it's just kind of dead, man. Like kids go home, so the campus gets real dry and boring really quick because, man, right after that, right before that Christmas break, you got finals and everybody's booking out because some people are getting them done early, and now you're back to damn near like camp when nobody's just you fella.
Then it's the whole lag from Thanksgiving and that break. Like that whole period is just, bro, for a student athlete is, especially Ames too.
Yeah, it's nothing jumping in Ames.
Yeah, that's like it was a Ramada Inn at the time.
You say that, but after the game, Jalen Jackson was arrested apparently Sunday in Ames with a DUI. So I don't know that Ames isn't all that not happening of a place.
Well, I mean, if you get some drinks in and when you start driving, that's illegal in Minnesota. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that going to affect his plan?
I don't know. Maybe he really needed to go to a pizza pit, Marcus. You know all about that.
I don't know if Pizza Pit got alcohol. I don't drink alcohol in there. But you know better than that, though.
Yeah, and in other notable news, transfer portal opened up this week on Monday. Of note, backup third string now, quarterback J.J. Cole, who came in as a highly regarded kid. I know we've talked about him quite a bit on this show, has elected to transfer, and it's unfortunate, but, you know, with Rocco's really proven himself, Connor Mobley, they are really impressed with Mansky kid that's coming in from Algona. Is supposed to be very talented. Boy, they've just that quarterback room got a ton of talent there, and JJ's decided to maybe look at another opportunity elsewhere.
Yeah, the offense just isn't built for him. That's the reality of it, man. It's just like anything, man. A lot of these coaches, especially in football, they recruit positions because of the success they had years prior, right? So you think about a Rocco, he's, 6 foot, maybe can scramble. And you look at JJ, he's 6'7", 6'8", and all of it. He's not, he's a true pocket quarterback. He's athletic too. Like he can move around, but he's a true pocket quarterback. He doesn't have to move. Our offense isn't that, Rocco moved around quite a bit. We use him a lot in the run game, and you saw, how many games we had to win with him because of his leg, right? So the guys that they have coming in with Connor Mobley, big time runner, Alex Mansky, same type of guy. So, they start to recruit guys that are playmakers, and they start to look a certain way, and you can kind of see that. And JJ just didn't fit it, and that's just how it goes sometimes. He came in with Shell House as the OC, and then he leaves, and then now, Mouse develops his identity. It's a little different. It's okay, Look forward to seeing where the kid lands, though.
Yeah, I didn't know he was that big. I didn't know he was like 6'7".
Oh, he's tall.
Oh, yeah. He's long, man. His brother is my youngest son's age, and he's like 5'5", something like that. He's 11 years old. Like, God damn. Like, just big kids, man.
Oh, for sure.
All right, I want to take a quick break here, hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll come back. We got a little bit more news that have been breaking even today yet that we can talk a little bit about. Talk a little bit about some men's and women's basketball. Of course, we have a big game tonight for the women that's scheduled to start at 8 o'clock. For those of you who are maybe watching live, we want to get out in time so we can all watch that. And, of course, the men tomorrow in Iowa City as well. So let's hear a word from Revelton.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. When energy meets precision, anything is possible.
I'm Carter Hawley, the Chief Energy Officer of the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm full of energy on and off the court, but nothing gives me more energy than helping families find their dream home. And that's where Green Beret Realty comes in. They're more than just realtors. They're a team dedicated to getting things right for you and your family, just like we get it right on the court. Sometimes it takes a team to get the call right. And when you're buying a home, you want a team that makes all the right calls. That is Green Beret Realty. And here's the best part. When you buy or sell a home through Dan at Green Beret Realty and mention this ad, he'll make a donation to the We Will Collective, helping student athletes like me thrive on and off the court.
Green Beret Realty, because getting the call right means everything.
All right, we are back to In the Side of the Storm. And I don't know about you guys, but I just now realized after probably watching that commercial for Green Beret for the last month and a half, Conrad is wearing the Side of the Storm shirt. Did you all notice that? That's awesome.
We saw it the last time because I had my shirt on. I said, hey, that shirt looks real similar.
That's right. That's right. All right, so I talked a little bit before. Big news today, Matt Campbell signed an 8-year extension. No terms were released. Apparently,
100 mil.
He's worth it, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's out of that.
He's worth it because believe it or not, he has won 50% or 51% of our 89 Big 12 conference wins. He has 51% of those. 7 of his 8 seasons have been more wins than losses. Obviously, the winningest coach in Iowa State history, passing Dan McCarney earlier this year. Third longest serving coach, football coach, second or third to Clay Stapleton and Dan McCarney. Obviously, first 10-win season in school history. Most conference wins in a season. Where we went 8-1 in 2020. And, of course, 2 Big 12 championship games. So congratulations to Coach on that extension. And really, congratulations to all of Cyclone Nation for that. You know, it seems like everyone predicts, well, he's going to be out the door anytime soon. I think we had Kirk Herbstreit a couple of years ago saying, well, he's gone. He's as good as gone. And yet he's going to be, well, apparently he's going to be here for at least season number 10 next year.
That's it, man. That's dope, man. Well deserved. You know what I'm saying? Big hats off to Coach Campbell, man. Really, really wish my son would have played for him. But who knows what the future holds?
Who knows? And another name has surfaced for a position that Coach Campbell was apparently contacted about, but declined to move further. And that was for North Carolina. Bill Belichick. I've heard of that guy before. Didn't he coach for the Patriots in the NFL? Never coached in college, but apparently he's heading to Chapel Hill to coach the North Carolina Tar Heels. Any thoughts on that move?
Well, he's coaching pros again.
Yeah, well.
So did my guy retire from UT?
So Mac Brown he was pushed out.
Got fired? Oh, okay.
Very literally, I think on a Monday he shared in a news conference that he was expecting to be back, and then by Tuesday the administration came to Coach and said, "Sorry, but you're not coming back next year." So yeah, he was fired, and apparently Bill Belichick, who's 72, is taking over for the 73-year-old Mac Brown.
I don't know. I mean, we'll follow this clip up later, but I don't know how well he'll do in this NIL stuff. He's an old school, like you saw how tight he was with the Patriots. It's NFL fellas. Now we're talking about high school guys that have this diva mentality now. Good luck. So I don't know, man. It's going to be very interesting. He's a great culture guy, great leader. I'm sure he can turn the program around, but now you're talking money. And,
well, but due to NIL now, if you're a player, if you're maybe a first, second year guy, And are you entertaining going to North Carolina because Bill Belichick is the coach?
I mean, yes and no. It's gonna boil down to money, because I mean, a lot of these guys they're doing one and dones. Like they're like, nah, that ain't it for me. Like I can make, we'll give you $2 million to come down here to, Louisiana Monroe. Well, they're not giving that kind of money, but I'm just saying, it was like, well, shoot, hey, well, I'm out of here then. I won't, they won't stick around. So I think it's going to be interesting to see him navigate those NIL waters, because I just don't see him being all that successful.
Yeah, the NIL is definitely the number one player in basketball 2026 to BYU.
What?
To BYU.
I want to talk about that, Marcus. Hold on here. So under the file of who says you can't go home, UCF is bringing back Scott Frost. Now, Frost had coached UCF back in the late 2017, 2018. Left for Nebraska. I don't think anyone blames him for going back. That was his alma mater, a team that he played for, was a quarterback for. Had a lot of success at UCF, goes back there. And then just announced before we came on, West Virginia is hiring back Rich Rodriguez, who left West Virginia, 10, 15 years ago to go to Michigan. And as you recall, when he was at WVU, I think he had 3 straight 10-win seasons, had a lot of success, was taking them to bowl games, really had them going before he got the call from Michigan. So a couple of familiar names are returning to their schools and will be coaching in the Big 12 conference again.
Okay, congrats to those guys for sure. Things change. Guys get better, programs get better. Things come back around. So who knows?
I was glad to hear that it wasn't Anthony Beck that got that job. He's coaching for the St. Louis Battlehawks in the UFL, and I think he has some aspirations to coach at a higher level. And I would have thought that might have made some sense if Coach Beck wanted to get back into or to coach at the college level. I was fearful that he would go and then Rocco might follow him. So I guess hearing that Rich Rod got that job, that gives me some assurance that Rocco's going to be here as long as he doesn't chase after the money. Because the last time the portal opened a year ago, there were a lot of teams that were contacting him with some big dollars. So that was something that Brent Bloom with the We Will Collective had shared with us when we attended the Liberty Bowl last year. That was a little scary to even think about.
Well, hopefully not. I mean, Henry Bibby coached at USC and Mike Bibby played at Arizona. So
good point.
A little different relationship of the two.
Yeah.
But he went to Arizona specifically to play against his dad. So,
Yeah. Well, but I think it also says a lot about Rocco and Anthony's relationship when Anthony was going to be inducted into the West Virginia Hall of Fame the same weekend that Iowa State had a home game. And Anthony told West Virginia administration, hey, look, sorry, but I'm going to Iowa State and Ames to watch my son play. And if it's possible, and kudos to West Virginia for allowing him to come back when Iowa State played West Virginia at home to have a little ceremony for him then. But I was concerned.
Gazelle.
All right. Marcus, you talked about this. And Brett, this may be news to you, but the 2025 number 1 men's basketball recruit,
26, I think.
Is he 26? Announced 26. DJ, I wrote this down, Dibanaska, something like that. So his NIL deal to go to BYU, not Duke, BYU, not Kentucky, not Carolina, BYU, $7 million.
It's crazy.
BYU.
That's crazy.
It's bananas.
Marcus,
it's some money out in the mountains, though.
Yeah. Well, Marcus, what was your first NBA contract worth?
My first year, my first total contract.
I'll take both. Did it even approach $7 million?
Yeah, the first overall contract was like 14.5, 15 million.
Okay.
The first year was, I don't know, maybe 2.1, 2.2. It got, dramatically high the next year's coming, and then the qualifying year, the fourth and fifth year. But it was, I mean, I probably would have been in college 8 years if
right.
Now.
Well, I'm coming back, baby. We're coming home.
Jamal Tinsley not going nowhere. Like, we bringing this game back. But
run it back.
BYU though, like it's, Penny Hardaway spoke a little bit about it. It's changing. You can see for the guys that, I mean, that's a lot of money, but for the NBA contracts, what they are now, that's peanuts. So if you're really focusing on the longevity of it, and now a $200 million contract in the NBA is average. Now they got what's called a super max. That's a new word. The super max or whatever. Mm-hmm. So if you have the opportunity to be a super max guy, and you go to play in an organization or program that's is going to win and help you be seen, then get in a better position for the draft, then maybe BYU is not the best school for you. If you're focusing on banking out as much as you can early, then but like I said, Penny Hardaway said about it, like a lot of these kids are coming in and they're focusing on who's giving them the most money, and they're not thinking about the long term of it all, and it's changing the way they approach the game, how the way they approach practice, and all of that is just so much different now.
It's a remarkable amount of money. I don't know that our entire men's basketball team received $7 million in NIL. So for one player at BYU to receive it, that's incredible.
And then the school, like a program like BYU, and don't get BYU is a top program, and collegiate athletes in sports and stuff like that. But the ones that were after, will they typically get the number one overall prospect if there was no NIL? It's going to be a bluer of a blood school than BYU. But now you're going to have to come through the Cyclones, so congratulations with that.
That's it. Can't wait to fold your ass up.
That is cool. We'll have a chance to see him, and I can't wait to see what the fans do when he walks in the door with that $7 million paycheck in his back pocket. And I can imagine our fans are going to be vicious, and actually they probably will be wherever he goes.
It's crazy. And a lot of these kids, man, they have handlers, right? Like it's almost like an agent already. It's why, to Marcus's point, like they're trying to get the cash now because these people behind them, they want to get paid now. Mm-hmm. They're not interested in the investment because the reality is these kids aren't going to schools to get developed anymore. They're trying to do whatever time they need, and they're trying to go straight to the league if they can. Like, back in the day, it was all about development, and that's why you see so much longevity with the guys that are there, that are in the NBA now. They totally understand the game. They could adapt, and they knew how to run offenses. And now it's just, you watch so much ball now, it's a lot of freestyling going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of one-on-ones, like a lot of ISOs.
Yep.
Yeah. So, if these, if the kids just had a chance to go somewhere and be developed again, I think you might see guys not thinking about the short-term gains, but it's everybody else is in their ear talking about, oh, bro, we got to get a house. Oh, well, hey, you need this. You deserve to drive this car. You should go here because they'll give it to you. And you tell any 18, 19-year-old, and in this case, what's this kid, 16? Yeah, you can go there and make $7 million in 2 years. Yeah, just go, bro. Don't worry about nothing else.
I'm driving that Land Rover. Absolutely. I'm driving a nice car. I'm driving a Bentley like Marcus was his rookie year.
I didn't have a Bentley my rookie year. It was a few years in. But still, I was a pro.
Yeah,
that was Vince Young them down at UT. They were driving Bentleys and stuff.
Bentleys and Lambos all day.
All right, so the men's basketball team, we talked a little bit about it they play tomorrow in Iowa City. Yours truly, I've got tickets. I'm going to be there. We had a primer Sunday against Jackson State, led by head coach, and this might be a familiar name for you, Marcus, but Mo Williams.
Teammate.
Former NBA player. Yep. They were short-handed, though. They were down. I think I had heard that they left behind 5 or 6 players at home, so they were short-handed. And obviously, Iowa State just dominated that game, got a lot of players in. And one of the things that I continue to be amazed is TJ continues to – I thought his bench would get shorter. Instead, he seems to be extending it out quite a bit, even early in the game, where he's playing 8, 9, 10 guys pretty consistently. And I love it because, hey, look, if the team you're playing against goes big, he's got to line up for that. If they go small, TJ's got to line up for that.
Yeah, me and Mo played together for a year with the Milwaukee Bucks. Real good guy, real, down home Alabama guy. Really, really loves to teach, the kids the right way to play. He could really play also. He was one of those smaller guards, but had a lot of toughness, a lot of athleticism and everything like that. Can really, really play ball. He'd probably kill me for telling this story, but it was the funniest thing ever. We were in Detroit playing the Pistons. And for whatever reason, people are how they are. Mo grows a lot of hair on his body, shoulders, chest, back. Just damn near Neanderthal-ish type, things or whatever. And our basketball
dude, you're gonna have a text from Mo by the end of this show. I'm telling you right now.
Our basketball jerseys, comes over your shoulder, and like he has so much hair on his back and the shoulders and stuff like that. It's stuck up on the outside of his jersey. And so we were in the tough game against the Pistons, and we was on the free throw line. And Rasheed Wallace reached over and said, "Damn, Mo, was that a Coogee sweater?" Man, I lost it. Oh my God. You talking about I can focus on nothing the rest of the game. I was just laughing. Mo was so pissed off because he pulled on it. He took oh my God, man, we was dying laughing. We ended up, of course, getting our ass beaten that game. But we went in at halftime. Even Terry Porter, the coach, was kind of stick because you could. It was quiet and you could, real loud. Damn, Mo, was that a Coogee sweater? Oh my goodness, man! Whatever his plan was for that worked because we got our ass blew out that game and nobody really said nothing after the game and. After that, Mo started shaving, getting all that shit white. That's my guy.
Poor Mo.
That's my guy.
So his team, Jackson State, took the loss. Iowa State, number 3 team in the nation now. First time since a guy by the name of Wilt Chamberlain played against Iowa State, against Gary Thompson, and 1956-57 season. Tennessee number 1, Auburn number 2, of course Iowa State number 3. Heading to Iowa City tomorrow to take on the Hawkeyes, who are 7-2. And believe it or not, guys, if we win 2 of these next 3 series, so we've got men's basketball, women's basketball, and volleyball all in the next 3 or 4 days. Win 2 of the 3 of those, we win the Cyhawk series. So nice. Big game coming up tomorrow. Any keys as far as you guys see for tomorrow night's game against the Hawks?
I watched a little bit of that game the other day. They look pretty solid. They got a pretty solid point guard that really runs the game pretty steadily. And I didn't want to watch too much of it. Not really focused because I like going into that game now not knowing, who they have, because I don't want it to scare me or jinx me up or whatever. I guess that's like the game the last time we played in Iowa City when we got the break beat off of us. I had no idea who was on that team, but we feel about that game the way we feel about that game, and just hopefully, we can come out with the win without a doubt for sure.
Should be a good game. Again, we've got a lot of depth, it feels like, and I think that no matter what the Hawks throw at us, we'll have an opportunity to counteract that. And boy, if you want to run, we could run all day. Women's basketball, of course, play here in a few moments. They walloped Central Michigan on Sunday, 82-56. Had some bad news as I was going through Twitter before the show started, but we have Kenzie Hare, who has been a key sub thus far this year, scoring a clip of 8 points a game, comes in and plays good defense, hard-nosed player. She's been a lot of fun to watch. She is taking a medical red shirt, apparently is having some hip issues, and so the recovery period is it's all about rest at this point to get her healed up and get her ready for next season. So some bad news there, but they play tonight here at 8 o'clock. Against the Hawks. Hawks, surprisingly, have played fairly well without Caitlin Clark, without Lisa Bluter. They seem to just continue to play well and play well as a team. It should be another great matchup tonight.
My ex Bulls teammate daughter, AJ Guyton, is on that team.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a freshman on that team this year. So looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, the women have some tough games, both tonight and Sunday, maybe a little bit of a breather against Eastern Illinois, but then next Tuesday night, 7:30 against UConn. So talk about the mecca of women's basketball. You put the Mount Rushmore of coaches on there. Gino Arromedo, well, I can't even say his name, is definitely on that list, and UConn's one of those programs that we all aspire to be. So that should be a great matchup next Tuesday as well. Ooh. All right, Marcus, you're still coming in town in January, right? Against Kansas?
That's what we're hoping for still. We're still trying to get everything figured out with that.
Well, when you do, we should try to figure out a time where we can all get together and hang out, and maybe if there's an opportunity, I'm sure that those that are listening or watching the show could be a chance to meet you, Marcus, and just
got to be Piece of Pit Live.
Maybe we get you down to tour Revelton Distillery as well, so you can see where everything's made.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely would love to do that for sure.
All right. Well, guys, it's been good to have you. It's been a lot of fun. Brent, welcome back. It doesn't feel right when one of us are missing, so we'll think as we get to the holidays, we may have a little bit of a different schedule, maybe take a little bit of time off, because I think we hit Christmas on a Wednesday, New Year's Day on a Wednesday as well, which has been our normal recording, and so we either adjust or maybe we take a couple of weeks off. But I think we're all planning to be back next week on the 18th, and that's been another episode in the Side of the Storm. See everyone next week. Go Cyclones.
Go Cyclones.
Go State, baby.